This video was made possible by EA Game Changers. Hey guys, so before we begin, I just want to take a moment to say that I know that a lot of us are going through some really difficult times right now, and I just want to say that my thoughts are with all of you who are going through these tough times, and I hope that this video can somehow offer a creative distraction from all of the craziness that's happening in the world right now. I am very excited to show you the brand new expansion pack for The Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle. But before that, I just want to welcome you all back. How are you doing? I know it's been a crazy couple of weeks, but we're surviving and I am so hyped for this pack. I've already covered a lot of this on my social media, so if you're not yet following me on Twitter and on Instagram, you might want to go ahead and check those out because I already posted a lot of previews over there. But today we are actually doing my very first build featuring Eco Lifestyle, and this is actually a Chic container home build. I actually saw this on Google and I knew that I had to recreate it. So if you just Google search Chic container homes, this is probably one of the things you'll find. It's pretty easy to spot because I think I pretty much replicated the entire thing. So yeah, the house itself actually only uses 10 packs. I know that sounds like a lot, but for me it really isn't. So this pack only uses Eco Lifestyle, of course, Season, City Living, Get Together, Get to Work, Dine Out Spa Day, Moschino, Laundry Day, and Cool Kitchen. A little bit later on, you'll probably see me add in a bike at some point, which actually comes with University, and then I realized that that's the only thing from University that I used, so I will be removing that for the final upload of the build so that it wouldn't require University. But yes, this is actually a studio home. Most of the living areas are upstairs. The downstairs is kind of like a really nice secret garage slash laboratory slash workshop area. That's pretty much where I put all of the new gameplay items that came with Eco Lifestyle. And then for the living areas, it's all kind of like in one space except for the toilet and bathroom, which are in its own separate area of the house. So overall, this is a pretty straightforward build, I'm gonna say. I built it in this lot right here, which is actually a 20 by 30 if I'm not mistaken, and then I will move it eventually at some point. If you guys can hear that in the background, please excuse that. That is my laptop's fan right now because it's actually really hot and I don't have my normal fan or air conditioning on. But anyway, I digress. Overall, I chose to do this build because I know it was gonna be pretty straightforward and easy for me to build, because like the shape of it is pretty, pretty basic. And that is because I am so bad with these early access builds. Like, I like to think that I'm a fast builder. I'm definitely a slow builder. Like, I'm not even gonna claim that I'm a fast builder, but every time I get like early access, it's always a struggle to get the builds up as soon as I can. Fortunately, because of the recent events, the patch that was supposed to come out before Eco Lifestyle actually got delayed, and EA announced this on their social media, and unfortunately that also affected our early access, which is why this video is coming out later than usual. This would have been up a while back, But unfortunately, we didn't really get our hands on the pack until much later. But you know, honestly, with all of the things that is happening in the world right now, that is the least of our concern. I just wanted to point that out to let you guys know, what's up and keep you updated. It looks like we've already moved to a different lot. This is going to be the final lot. I actually really like this lot here in Evergreen Harbor, and I actually have so much to talk about. As far as eco-living is concerned, I definitely have a lot of opinions, which I'm eager to share with you in this video, but before that, I do want to go ahead and talk about the house. Overall, I just went for this chic, kind of modern, industrial vibe. It's not really like, how you would say, very like recycled. I mean, there's a lot of like recycled in here, obviously, upcycled items and stuff, but I was trying to make it also seem somewhat luxurious as well, if that's even possible with, upcycling. I think it is. So hopefully that comes across. But having said that, let's talk about my opinions on eco lifestyle. So before I get carried away, I'm gonna go ahead and actually talk about the things that I liked, because I actually really like this pack. I'm really surprised, and I'm really happy that this pack has exceeded my expectations. I actually have a list with me because I don't really, want to get distracted and lose train of thought. The first thing that I want to comment on is the world. Evergreen Harbor is beautiful, I gotta say, and I'm really excited to build on it. One of my favorite worlds to build in is San Myshuno. And Evergreen Harbor kind of has that urban vibe, but still suburban, if that makes sense. It's like not downtown San Myshuno, but you can still, build apartments and, more urban style houses in this world, which is great. And also the lighting in this world is beautiful. Like, I was taking screenshots a couple of minutes ago, and the lighting is so beautiful. It needed very minimal reshade, and I'm really happy about that. As for the creative sim, to be honest, cast for me this time was kind of a mixed bag. There really wasn't anything that I hated, but I feel like a lot of the items were just pretty mediocre, or a lot of them were things that we've already seen before. A lot of the things were like variations of things that we already have seen before, so I wasn't really blown away by casts. For the men, we didn't get a lot of clothing, which is kind of expected at this point, but I feel like a lot of the clothing for the men were like the same long sleeve, sweater type thing, and I could have definitely used more variety. I did like the shoes though. And for the women, I actually really like a lot of the hairs for the women, and I also really liked a lot of the clothing for the women as well. One of my favorite pieces of clothing is actually this one beautiful maxi dress that is in the outfits category, and there's also this one like ombre top for the women. It's so beautiful. So I really enjoyed that as well. So yeah, overall I think cast this time was kind of a mixed bag. Kind of gave me a little bit of a throwback to the late 90s / early 2000s with all of the denim. So if that's the kind of thing that you're into, I think you'll definitely enjoy cast more than I did. By the way, I just want to point out that that dining area, I actually used chairs that aren't dining chairs. Those are just normal lounge chairs, I guess, but I actually like the way they looked more than the dining chairs, so I just put them there instead. Hopefully they work. I should really test that out. If the Sims can't use it, they can always eat on the sofa, I guess. Oh, and I love the fireplace, but you know what? That is the perfect segue to my next point, which is build by, and I think this is actually my favorite aspect of this pack. I've already done a post on my social media about my thoughts on build by, and overall I am blown away by the amount of items and by the quality of items. It's so amazing. I like the style of the items. I think a lot of them are very versatile and very modern and contemporary as well. And the detail is just so beautiful. Like, I don't think I have any particular item that came with either build by that I didn't like, except for a couple of windows that have really chunky frames. And also, I don't think I'm a fan of the bathroom set that came with this pack. That's all. By the way, right now I'm placing this beam right here. It's actually like wooden piece that came with Eco Lifestyle that I rotated using the tool mod by Twisted Mexi, so I can make it like horizontal, because originally it comes in vertical. So I wanted to have like some sort of beam there just to give it a little bit more of an industrial vibe. But as I was saying earlier, I really wasn't a fan of the bathroom. The pack didn't come with a kitchen set, by the way. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the bathroom, which is why I'm mostly using base game in this bathroom. I use base game and Spade. Right, so now with all that said, let's talk about the gameplay. So first of all, I am so happy that we're finally getting a pack that is dedicated to eco lifestyle, because I think right now environmentalism is such a huge social movement, and as someone who has a background in architecture, it's definitely something that I'm very familiar with. I'm not sure if you guys know about the LEED certification. It's this really prestigious certification for environmental and sustainability for modern buildings, and I actually have experience working at an architectural firm that had a project about that. And I gotta say that this is one of the things that I'm probably most excited about in this pack, is all of the new gameplay specifically for environmental conservation, which is such an amazing thing for EA to do. I know when they first announced Eco Lifestyle, a lot of people weren't so sure about it, because I think a lot of people were expecting something else, and also we thought we had eco living with Laundry Day, but apparently they were working on an entirely different pack for that. I gotta say, I definitely didn't have like high expectations, but I definitely, you know, over the years learned to kind of manage my expectations. Luckily, this pack really exceeded my expectation. I'm really happy to say that. But for the gameplay, I love how they incorporated some strategy into the gameplay, because as someone who loves city building games, it's always like really challenging to consider, you know, your power supply and your water supply, you know, especially if you're playing with off the grid. It's something that I've always wanted ever since they introduced the off the grid lot trait, and I'm so happy that we finally get to expand on that, because I feel like as far as gameplay is concerned, I think that's where The Sims 4 is lacking, in my opinion. I definitely don't really watch people who do gameplay anymore, which is very different from The Sims 3 days, when most of the Simmers that I watched actually only did gameplay. So I'm really happy that they're considering this kind of like strategy approach to the gameplay. So I'm really happy about that. I also really like the idea of the neighborhood action plans. I haven't really gotten that much into it, but I like the idea of it. And I also like how, you know, your actions can impact the world, and I like how the environmental effects are also in other worlds as well. You know, it's not just in Evergreen Harbor, so that's good. I like how, you know, a pack expands on the whole game itself. I really appreciate that. And there's also a lot of quality of life improvements that they've updated the game with, and you don't actually need eco lifestyle for them to work. I love the, you know, streamlined inventory, because back then it was kind of a hot mess, and now we can filter the inventory, which is always great because I love collecting and my inventories were always a mess and it was impossible to find anything, so I loved that. I also love how they updated the bill system and how much complicated it became, especially if you're thinking about allocating certain, energy or water resources to your household, and the fact that you can also earn a living from it by selling your excess power or water that you produce. It's amazing. So I really love that, and I think that's kind of like the best gameplay aspects of this pack. That being said, I also have some things that I kind of don't really know how I feel about, because I'm kind of, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about certain gameplay aspects that we've seen from other packs. Yeah, I think probably like my biggest issue with this pack is that there's so many things in here that we've seen from other packs. And first of all, I like a pack that has a lot of content, don't get me wrong. But I feel like a lot of the new features kind of devalue the older packs, especially if you have all of the packs. I think, if you have city living, we have apartments in Eco Lifestyle, and I feel like what's the point of getting city living if you're gonna get Eco Lifestyle, which honestly has better gameplay in my opinion, and it also has apartments. I also feel the same about bikes, which is something that we've seen in University for the first time, and we're seeing, a repeat of that in this pack. And there's also a lot of other things, like the insects are basically like the bees from Seasons, and how we're seeing another 3D printing item, which is something that we've seen from Get to Work, and also the robotics thing, which we've seen from University. There's a lot of things that I recognize from other packs, and I feel like they definitely take away from the value of the other packs, because why buy those other packs if you can get this one pack and it has pretty much the same features, right? I think that's pretty much my main criticism, I guess. Overall, I still really enjoyed the pack. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it's definitely up there as one of my favorite packs, but pretty much like everything, it has its pros and its cons, and I wanted to let you know up front what you're going to be getting if you get this pack. Overall, the items for me are just so amazing, and the worlds. I think those are the two things that really sold it to me, and the environmental gameplay. So I'm really happy that I have this. I'm glad that we have this in our library, and I think it's definitely one of the better packs in my opinion. So I think that pretty much sums up all of my thoughts. Hopefully you enjoyed this, hopefully you found it insightful, and please let me know what you thought of the build. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here. Thank you so much for watching. You all have an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.